It's whoever makes more money. Now, there's some variable there, okay? If it's exactly 50-50, okay, and the incomes are pretty similar, there are arguments for you to make to kind of adjust that number a little bit. It varies from support magistrate to support magistrate and from Supreme Court judge to Supreme Court judge as to how much they're going to listen to that and how much time they want to spend with your child support case, okay? But technically, if it's that close, you know, there are certain variables they can consider and they can modify it, they can adjust that number, okay? Insofar as attorney's fees and temporary maintenance are concerned, again, the law changed pretty substantially, 2009, 2010. Now, a lot of it is driven by who the moneyed spouse is. So, for example, I'm a stay-at-home husband. My wife makes $250,000 a year. And because I took care of the kids since they were born, she was able to now become an executive at her accounting firm. And she makes a lot of money. And you know what? I didn't really take the time to go to school or to get any technical training or to really get out in the job force. I have a high school diploma. I'm probably going to have to go back to school, get a technical degree, get a college degree, get something so I can be self-supporting. That is a classic case for not only, and let's say it's a long-term marriage, that's a classic case for not only temporary maintenance, but also permanent maintenance and attorney's fees. Again, bear in mind, wife's the moneyed spouse, meaning she makes more money than I do. And to a substantial degree, there's a substantial divide there. She makes $250 grand a year, I make nothing. That's a big gap. So in that particular case, according to New York's temporary maintenance statute that was passed on or about 2009, 2010, it directs that the moneyed spouse, the wife, pay me temporary spousal maintenance. And that calculation is somewhat convoluted, but we put it into a basic mathematical formula and it spits out whatever the number is going to be in that particular circumstance. And we have a calculator that we do that pretty much every day for clients. That is the presumptively correct number. So barring anything out of the ordinary, barring that it's unfair or prejudicial, and that's not the specific standard, I'm paraphrasing, judge is going to order that number for temporary maintenance, were you to go before a judge and make those arguments, okay? Temporary maintenance is from the date of the commencement of the divorce until the date of the judgment of the divorce, okay? We had a case relatively recently where the husband made approximately $86,000 a year and the wife made something like $35,000, $36,000, $37,000. And in that particular case, the wife was entitled to somewhere between $12,000 and $16,000 per year in temporary maintenance to be paid from the moneyed spouse, the husband, to the non-moneyed spouse, the wife. Okay, and that's temporary spousal maintenance. Permanent spousal maintenance is a very different assessment, which we'll get to in a moment. Attorney's fees have now changed substantially as well, according to the recent changes in the law, in that now if you are the non-moneyed spouse, you're generally, presumptively entitled to some level of attorney's fees, emphasis on the word some level of attorney's fees, from the moneyed spouse. So let's say husband makes $100,000 and wife makes $25,000. Odds are, in that particular case, the wife is going to be entitled to some level of attorney's fees from the husband. That could be $2,500, could be $5,000, could be $50,000, depending upon the specific circumstances of the case. So you have a case like I spoke about earlier where the husband makes $750-something thousand a year. If the wife asks for $50,000 and she's a stay-at-home mom, no income, she might get that. There's a lot of assets out there. So, attorney's fees.
That's the question I'm asking.